Sorry, you guys. It was a technical, something technical with my phone. I don't know what happened. So I'll start over again. Happy Tuesday to everybody. I am sipping on my mushroom blend tea by Buddha Teas. We're waiting for everyone to get in. I think Mike had joined in before. I'm really excited about my guest today, Anissa Williams. She is an amazing, amazing person, beautiful spirit. Anissa is also a top casting director here in LA, TV, film, commercial. So I'm really excited to have her on board today. Hope you guys are sipping your tea. I hope these lives are, listen, I always see Daryl. I can't see who it is, but it's pretty, who is that? It looked like Spot. Is that Spot? Don't tell me that's Spot. I can't see from the pictures. I always see you like the pictures, but anywho, what's up, Mike? So anywho, before we start, I also just want to make knowledge. And it's, you know, so much is going on in the world today, and I know that it's, you know, the video about the man in Cincinnati who was killed by the police officer. I just am, you know, it's enough is enough. There's just so much going on, and it's like I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but I have to I wouldn't feel right in my spirit if I didn't make acknowledgement to that man for losing his life. You know, we're tired. Black people are tired. Brown people are tired. We're tired. It's enough. Enough is enough. I don't know what it's going to take. It just seems like it's never going to get better, but I just wanted to make acknowledgement to him and to his family members and to our brothers in the community and to our sisters, because it happens to our sisters too, but to brown people, like, I'm just sending positive spirits, positive energy, some love. So anywho, it was not Cincinnati. Thank you, Mike. It was Minneapolis. George Floyd. Rest in peace, George Floyd. Thank you, Mike. That's why I love my people, because we got each other's back. So thank you, Mike, for that information. I just wanted to make some acknowledgement to him. Very unfortunate situation. It just always seems like it's never going to end. But anywho, not anywho in that way, but I want to down the conversation. What's up, Kevin Harris? Congrats on your new little boy. Congratulations. You're a new dad. That's really exciting. Crazy. Kevin Harris is crazy. Bless that little boy's heart. Bless the mama's heart. So anyways, I'm sipping on mushroom blend tea today by Buddha Teas. Is anyone in here? It sucks that this is the new normal death. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Kevin. It sucks that it's the new. And it's actually not new. The thing is, this has been going on forever. What's new is technology in the place. Hey, baby mother, this my boo. What's new is that we have technology now that is around for all of these acts to be filmed, which it's horrific to see in sight, but it's actually what is getting all of these, you know, dirty cops and just people in general convicted and getting them, you know, fired or whatever they decide to do. That's the thing. I heard today that the police officers were fired, but it's like, okay, what happens after that? You know what I mean? They still have to go to court. Is there going to be justice in court for him? You know what I mean? I mean, he literally murdered this man. So we'll see what happens. You know, they were fired at the very least, the officers. And the other guy just stood there. The other police officer, he just stood there, you know. It's really sickening, really, really sickening. So anywho, is anyone sipping on tea today? Anyone? No? I'm sipping on my mushroom blend. There's a video on my page. I do a tea tasting review every Tuesday before my live to let you guys know what tea I'm sipping on and the benefits of the tea that I'm sipping on and the herbs. And in about a week, I will be starting a fast. I'm going to be doing a 30-day colon and kidney cleanse. Okay, Anissa's here. Dandelion Buddha tea. Yes, dandelion. I love dandelion. Okay. Yes, Mike, thanks for joining. But dandelion, love dandelion. I eat dandelion greens all the time. Okay, Anissa's here. Let's bring Anissa in. It's hot. He is too hot. My sister in DC, she said it's too hot for tea, sis. Come in. It's okay. I love my flavor name. It's too high. I get it. Let's see. Anissa, Anissa.
Hi.
Hi, beautiful Anissa.
Hi, beautiful Monique.
I miss you so much. It feel like it's been like forever
I know. We got to do
that we have
better.
seen each other.
We got to do better.
I know. How have you been?
I've been good. I've been good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm doing good. I love the braids. Everyone's in
Thank
quarantine braids.
Yes, the quarantine break.
Are you sipping on any tea today?
I actually, I heard you talking about you're about to do a fast. I'm on like a fast myself, and
Okay.
but I'm sipping on some miso soup.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love miso soup.
Yeah, so this is my little, meal replacement.
Okay. Well, that skin looks gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. So this,
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining me today on the IG Live, and thank you to all of your followers who are here and saying hello and coming to support. I first met Anissa was literally one of the first casting directors who started bringing me into her room when I first moved to LA at 8899 Beverly, 8999. Which one is it?
88.99.
8899 Beverly. And let me tell you, the funny thing is like there's always a lesson in situations. And although I was never booked in any of those projects that you brought me in for, that's where I got my foundation of what and what not to do in castings. And that's where I learned about like callbacks and wear the same thing to the callback that you wore to the audition. And so I obtained a lot of really good gems from you, just from you bringing me in. And the other thing is like, Anissa, so many casting agents that were under you as associates, they have now have their own casting, own agencies and things. You have really like pushed the gamut for a lot of casting directors that are now, casting themselves today.
Well, I'm so proud of them all, and I've always been someone to encourage and push and not I'm not a hater. I'm a sharer of wealth and information, and I think that that's how you have a more fulfilled life.
Yeah.
So I think they all just were at the right place at the right time, and
Yeah.
now they have they have companies that they're
Yeah.
running that are
Hmm.
very reputable, and
Hmm.
they're doing really good work
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. And you also, I've been, we follow each other all the time. Also, Anissa and I were working together with a really great organization called Afrikicks. Before we
Yes.
get into the casting, can you talk to us about Afrikicks? How's that going? How's everything going with Afrikicks now?
Everything is going well. Still, obviously, trying to collect funds. There are some big containers that are en route as we speak to get to where they need to go in Africa.
Yeah,
Um,
tell everyone what the mission of the organization is.
so the mission is basically to provide shoes, even gently worn or brand new shoes, to people in need, whether there have been some people locally that have been benefited, but definitely it all kind of started helping people for people in Africa.
Yeah.
The founder, Omaru, is from Niger, and
Mhm.
his story is, and what inspired me was that he hadn't ever owned a pair of shoes until he was like 18 years old. And
Yeah.
so something so simple like shoes, even if they're gently worn, can give some people so much self-esteem and allow them to go on a job interview, or just those simple things that we take for granted. So
Yeah.
that's why I was so passionate about it.
Yeah, and I mean, Africix is such an amazing organization, and I've partnered with Anissa and Amaru on a few Africix events, and we have some of the most amazing events. A lot of people come out, shoes are donated, there's food, and for those who have never like started their own nonprofit organization, it takes a lot of work and a lot of dedication and
a
a lot of
full-time job.
selflessness. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And one of my good friends, Mike, says he would love to donate shoes. Mike is in DC, but we'll make sure to put that information at the end of the video.
Yes, please. Thank you, Mike.
So we can keep sending shoes. So talk to us, Anissa. Give us a little bit about your journey in casting. How did you get into casting? Like, where did you start when you got into?
I love these questions. Hold on. You know what I want to do? I want to lift the phone up a little bit.
Okay.
Hold on, everybody, because I need to shift. Because now I thought I was going to be on a computer, and now that I'm on my phone, I have a little bit more flexibility. And I also want to.
Okay. Oh, there goes that beautiful light in that face. How's your mom, Anissa?
Oh, she's great. They all tell me to
Good.
ask about her. She's
Please.
good.
I
Thank you so
always
much for
do.
asking.
Your mom is always the life of the party whenever we have parties.
Yes, girl, yes, everybody.
She comes through.
Miss Mama Jan, yes.
Mama Jan.
Yes, and please give all your little ones my love. I'm just looking for a place to sit, everybody. So just give me 1 second. Sorry that I'm moving rooms.
No worries. Everyone is saying that the light is much brighter. They can see your beautiful face now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad I moved. Yay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So now I'm just going to, let's see how we're doing on. I'm notorious for the dead battery, people. So I'm getting a charger.
Okay.
Here
All
we go.
good.
I got
We're
a
all
long charger.
quarantined. I don't think we have nothing but time.
Cool. Let me say hi. Everyone say hi to the kitty.
Hi, kitty. Look at the kitty. What's your kitty's name?
Lily.
Hi, Lily.
Looks like something done jacked up her eyeball, though.
Oh, no. Thank you, Bridget, for being patient. They said we're being patient. Thank you, Carolyn Michelle.
Okay, I'm good now. I got a charger.
Okay.
So thank you for your patience, everybody. So I have been casting for now, it's going on 23 years. And it's been an incredible journey. I did it because I've always loved film. I'm a self-proclaimed cinephile. And so I was wondering, like, okay, what capacity how can I get into film and what can I do? How's that? Better? Yes.
Now we see you. There you go.
So I went to film school. I wasn't really sure what I would do from the knowledge of film, television, but I ended up getting working on a TV show, a little show called In Living Color.
A little show called In Living Color.
A little show called In Living Color, and just initially, like it was my first job. I feel so blessed because it was like my first job out of college, and I started off as a production assistant. So I would strongly suggest to all of you to humble yourselves and to take on projects like that, because when you do, you get this vast knowledge, and from just working on that show, I got to sit at the assistant desk of the executive producer,
which was who?
It was Tamara Rowett and Eric Gold,
yeah,
of course Keenan Ivory Wayans,
I mean, these are major people. So I'm sorry to cut you off on this, but I just want to chime in. When you said that you suggest that people humble yourself and get into these roles of like, assisting, it's like you're around such wealth of knowledge around people that have, I mean, In Living Color was an amazing, major show. It catapulted the careers of so many people. Jamie Foxx,
Jennifer Lopez.
What's my guy? Oh my God, off the tip of my
Tommy
head.
Davidson, Jamie Foxx,
Tommy Davidson,
Marlon Wayans.
I mean, so
Rosie
many
Perez.
people. So many people. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, I'm so that's how I
Jim
started.
Carrey. Thank you,
Yes.
Carolyn. Jim Carrey.
I
That's
did
what I
say
was thinking
I
about.
said Jim Carrey. I don't know if you heard me. I did.
Oh, did you? I'm sorry. I probably was thinking.
No, it's okay. So, started there as a PA, and then the
Mm-hmm.
following season, I ended up getting the position of being a casting assistant. And
Okay.
then the following season, I got moved up to be a casting associate, and then I haven't looked back since. So, encouraging everybody. Hi, someone's saying hello. Hey.
Yeah.
Um, and just encouraging everybody to humble themselves, and you might have to start at a lower level, but it's that it's priceless. And LA, Hollywood, if you want to work in the entertainment industry, it's literally about relationships. It's relationships, fostering those relationships, nurturing those relationships, and that's your equity,
Yeah. Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about transitioning from season to season, going up in those levels. Like, what were some of the obstacles you faced? What were some of the things that you learned the most that like really stuck with you in moving up to those levels? And did you have any fear at the time?
You know what? I think, what's so interesting, and I think that I'm learning now, I am one of those just super hardworking, almost, obsessive, multitasking superwoman. It's and unfortunately, as a superwoman, you crash because you don't realize. I'm optimistic. I can do everything. I can, and I think back then, trying to do that and then feeling like I was hitting brick walls was the biggest challenge, because you push yourself so hard that sometimes there are going to be some difficult times, and I just now, looking back and just remembering, like, wanting to be like, why did I choose this? This is so difficult. This is so stressful.
What was difficult? What were some of the things that were difficult?
I will tell you guys a little story. One of I'm not going to say who it was, and I'm not going to say what show it was, but I got a stapler thrown at me because of not taking a message correctly. And when it happened, like, now you do that and it's lawsuits, but there, back then it was just, you suck it up and you deal with that. But that can be a deadly weapon.
Yeah.
And that was a moment. It was a defining moment where I was like, I'm stronger than this person doing this to me. I'm not gonna give up. I'm going to keep pushing forward. And that's not how you treat people. That was another defining moment in how I treat my assistants and associates, that they're human. And so I think that was a really big moment in my career where I was, in multiple reasons, like, just not to allow these people that are vibrating on lower energy to detour my goals.
What was it like being not only a woman, but a woman of color in your position back in that time? I mean, at that time it was a predominantly male dominated, industry. What was it like being not only a woman?
Can we be frank? Can we
Please,
just be frank?
let's keep it real.
There were some directors that were, they wanted to hang out outside of business hours. And I was just like, no, let's keep it professional. I'm from California, so I'm, got a laid back attitude, but so I didn't ever make them feel like, I wasn't like, F you and da 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 da. I was just like, no, I don't know, that'd be cool. I'll keep it professional. And what was hurtful was they stopped working with me. Because I didn't want to work out after hours. So as a woman, you have to really, I'm so glad I made that, because now when I see them because it's a very small town, and people might think it's a big town, but it's a very small town, and I still see that person, and I approach him, I hug him, I say hello. But could you imagine if I would have said, okay, I'll
Yeah.
go there I'll go there because maybe you're gonna get me more work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I decided
Totally.
no. So I'm
Totally.
really glad that I did it.
Yeah. Well, I will share in Sisterhood a transparent, similar kind of situation that I was in as an actress. I was on set of a movie, very, very, very well-known actor. Again, for obvious reasons, won't say who it is. But when I'm talking about internationally known, like major. And I was, I had a guest role, and I was asked to. I was told that by one of his producers that he wanted to see me in his trailer. And they didn't say what it was for. And, as an actor, you just, I didn't feel threatened at the time. So I was just like, okay. So I walked with him over there, and, he didn't physically touch me, but verbally basically implying what he wanted me to do in order to get my role bumped up. And, you can get this, I can have you do this. And I respectfully declined, but I was also really, really young at the time. So, and I'm from DC, and so my mouth was still, so.
You didn't do the Cali girl laid back. Oh no,
I
that's
didn't do
okay.
but I didn't go ham with him, but I definitely let him know how I felt about that. And I walked off set because after, I expressed myself, he called his producer back in and told his producer to write me out of the script, take me out of the script. So I was released from set, and I said, that's fine, but you guys still need to pay me. Hello, give me my coin. Thank you.
Yes.
You still need to pay me for my time.
Yes.
And so I met with the producer a week later. He came with my check. And hey, I see some people say DMV DC, and he met me with my check. And his producer told me that he said, "You better." I will never forget this. He said, "You better be careful because leaving it up to him, the guy, the one in charge, you will never work again a day in your life in this industry because that's what you chose not to do." And I said, okay. And, by the grace of God, I had the strength and the foundation not to let that seep into me. But can you imagine so many young girls who are trying to, move forward in their careers, or really take that and really sit with that and let them really think that someone has that much control over their career, So anyways, I just wanted to share in transparency with you in Sisterhood because, and I applaud you for that. And I'm really grateful that we're both still here and we both are flourishing after that. That's the amazing thing.
And I applaud you for standing in your morals and knowing that you don't need to. There's so many, and then the other side of the coin is there's so many women that did.
Yeah.
And then they could do that. And then you know what? You wake up in the morning and they could still, write you out of the script.
Yeah.
Even despite the fact that you said, you know what, I'll go ahead and go that route, and then they end up, firing you anyway.
Yeah. So talk to us, Anissa. Talk to us a little bit about for actors that are in the industry already, and thank you guys. Someone says thank you for being an incredible example. Thank you guys for tuning in and for the support. Anissa, talk to us a little bit for the actors that are already in the industry and actors that are to get into the industry. What are you noticing the shift now since
definitely everybody needs to be, sorry, I'm just getting something from my everybody needs to be ready to
self-tape.
Yes, everybody needs to have their, excuse me 1 second.
Okay. Excuse me. Thank you guys so much for joining. This is a really fun conversation. I was just asking Anissa what her thoughts are and her suggestions to actors that are in the industry now and those that are coming in, what she sees happening in the shift in entertainment now. And so she was just getting ready to explain that. And she said,
Yes. So everybody, definitely what's happening and what I'm hearing from a lot of industry people and just the conversations I'm having with some clients and directors is that self-taping is going to become definitely more common. The days of them maybe bringing in, theatrically bringing in maybe 20 people to read for one part in one day just because they're in they're slammed.
Yeah.
It might only be 5 now, 5 cherry picked, and
Wow.
then the rest might be, it could be 30 requested self tapes. So I think that just having, I call it your home set, like having a brightly lit or your ring lit, having your equipment and your space to do really great self tapes. Also, I pump up my boy Dylan Mooney. Hi, Dylan. Shout out to Dylan Mooney. He has an app called Actor Trade, and that'll allow people to self tape with good people, good actors anywhere in the world. So
Okay.
you don't have to rely on your mom or your spouse that maybe is not an actor, but actually having the capability of doing a really great self tape with someone that's more established as an actor to give you something to work off of. So hands down, there's gonna be a few things that I want to talk about,
Okay.
but that's number one.
Okay. Really quick, one question. Sorry, really quick. Someone had a question. Are self tapes going to replace actors' reels?
No, actors' reels I think are, so now actors' reels are super crucial because say I'm working on a job. I know I need to find an African American woman in her 20s that has, horseback riding experience. So I'll do a filter. I'll look through my sort of digital files and I'll say, okay, these are the 65 women that I'm considering for this role of this remake of a hip hop Western. I'm just making all this up. So I have my, I have the 60 women. How I narrowed that down is the reels. Am I moved by the reel? Do I see something special? Is there a star quality? Is there a spark? Do I see them in this role? So the reels also help me narrow it down even more.
Okay. What if there's someone who's new who doesn't have work to put on the reel?
They need to get with maybe a young budding director. They need to shoot something. Monologues are cool, but I feel like you could be creative. We're all creators. Write a little short that you're only going to maybe take a minute. You're going to maybe cut and edit a minute and a half for your reel, but get with up and coming directors at USC, UCLA, AFI, create some sort of video reel of that character, a character you've been dreaming about. Write it out, co-write it with someone, and then shoot that and have that be you need something now. There's no more just having a headshot and some resume, some little words, we're in a visual medium, your online presence, your brand. This is the time to make sure that you're updating all of those things.
Yep. Everything's going digital. Everything is completely digital now, right?
So what is your online presence? Is your IMDb? Do you have your, if you had a website, great. Does everything connect? Does your IMDb have updated information in reel and information? Does it have updated contact information? Does your website have updated contact information, updated acting stuff? Does your Instagram have interesting characters or sketches or a fun little personality TikTok video? It's just getting the essence of who you are. Can we find that if we Google your name? What sort of things are we finding so we can find the essence of who you are to determine if we want to bring you in or have you self-tape?
Are self-tape audition scenes acceptable in reels? Is that something that,
No.
no.
I mean,
Okay.
I've had someone send me, like, if I'm, if it's last minute and I'm working on something, I would rather see, I feel like it's best to have you do the project that I'm actually working on, those scenes, to see how you are in the role, or see you in something completely, that's my preference. I've had
Mm-hmm.
people send me those
Mm-hmm.
because it's last minute and I really wanted to see something, but I prefer it not be related to something else or another role. I'd rather get a sense of your body of work.
Okay. And what do you think, what do you think the trend now going back on to set is going to be like after everything really opens back up after this virus? Like that's really what I've been thinking about. Like, are there going to be closed sets? There's always millions of people on set.
There's some things that I know these are some things that I'll just share with you that I've been, but who knows how they'll adjust. But I hear that there'll no longer be co-stars. Like they'll keep it to, cast members only. That's one thing. I've heard that extras are now going to be there'll be CGI, and I know I did get an email from SAG saying that if anybody in SAG you probably got this too, if you
Yeah.
did any work, you need to contact SAG to make sure that they're abiding by all of the rules and regulations, the social distancing, whatever.
Wow. That is, that's very interesting. I think Anissa's phone is catching back up. But that's very interesting to hear that there will be no more co-star roles, if it comes to that. Let's see, I think Anissa's phone is catching up. Let me try. She'll come back in. Hi, Blythe. You said you were just on a commercial set and a lot of strict protocols are in place. I'm pretty sure that's very interesting. If it gets to a point to where there are no co-star roles, co-star roles were very helpful for actors who didn't get those guest star roles, who didn't get those lead roles. So this is going to be really, really interesting. So I think one of the things that I'm taking away from CGI. And hopefully this will just be temporarily, but it's gonna change a lot. Let's see. Here's Anissa. She's back in. I think she's coming back in. There she is.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. We were just, Anissa's last name is Williams, Anissa Williams, at Casting by Anissa. So we were just chatting and people were just chiming in, Anissa, while your phone was catching up. And someone said that they were just on a commercial set and they have very strict protocols on the commercial set. And people are just really startled to hear the information about possibly going CGI, co-star roles. And I was just saying that,
well, these are things that have been discussed. So,
right.
And who knows? I think everyone's still trying to catch up and figure it out there.
Yeah.
So these are some things that have been proposed for safety.
Yeah.
Now, if that means, now I don't know if it's etched in stone. I don't know if that's going to be hello. I don't know. These are some things that have been discussed, because if you take all the extras out of set, that's, less chance of, people, the stars of the show, contracting this deadly virus. So, and then saying, well, maybe initially, no co-stars, just stick to the immediate cast because they've all been tested. They're all quarantined. They're all, been together as well as, they're the immediate smaller crew members and stuff. So they're just trying to figure out how what it will be.
Yeah. That was the other question, was that do you think that they're probably going to require cast members to be tested before they get on set now?
It probably so, probably so.
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest takeaway in this entire quarantine, not in just the entertainment industry, it's just like we got to stay open to change. You know what I mean? And then we also have to keep our eyes on the shift to understand, like, where things are moving to and to adapt. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of brings me to my next question for you that I wanted to talk about, and you talking to people about was producing. So when you were talking about producing your own, you know, people can, this is the perfect time to get your own stuff, your own content out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So talk to us
Exactly.
about producing, like from a producer side, because you produce as well.
Yes.
Talk to us about that. Like, what are some of the great ways to like, or some of the
Well,
most,
I'd love to relate it to kind of the things we were talking about for, so don't wait around for this perfect role. This is, I just want to kind of, I want to just this is a great way to answer that question, and also hopefully benefit some of the people that are watching. Don't wait around for that director to call, or that casting director to call you to find that perfect role or character that's been speaking to you. Write it yourself. Find someone else that has a like mind like you. You guys go into production and shoot some stuff for both of you. And maybe for a director that's very talented and looking to shoot you, that has access to some equipment from a city college, you know, and then you're not waiting around for the phone to ring. And then you are writing and developing these great characters, and that character might be a character that they're looking for the next HBO show. Like, you never know.
yeah.
So just honing in on your craft and writing and producing your own stuff right now, this is a really wonderful time for that.
Yeah, and people are sitting home now, so people have nothing else to do. I mean, people are still working, but we have time to sit and watch. We have time to come into a live. We have time to like go through people's social media. So this is the perfect time for that, right?
Exactly. And to start, if you've had dreams of or these characters or relatives that you can emulate, or like speaking to you, then start to like sort of flesh them out, and maybe do them on your Instagram or your TikTok, you know, start to develop those characters. And then, you know, you could write a, you know, sketch or skit around those characters. So I just wanted to kind of piggyback on what we were talking about earlier with regards to producing. So I think that would be really great for people.
Yeah, I mean, you worked on a really great project for King James for high schoolers, for high school graduates, right?
Yes, I was
And
a casting
you know,
producer on that. Yes.
you sent that to me, and you know, talk to us a little bit about that process. Not about the project in particular, that you know you don't have to, but like, what was that production process like during the quarantine?
Interesting. So I was a casting producer on that project, and it was what is different is there is no more sorry, people are just sending me all these text messages. What was very interesting was how you organize being away from not having the normal production room where you come in, you sit at a long table, and everybody. I feel like it was very efficient because there was like a daily Zoom meeting. There was like a daily production Zoom meeting. Okay, where are we at? Where do we need to go? What do we need to get done? So that was one thing that was very different. But it reminds you had to be accountable, and so you had to be on your toes because that call was coming every day. You know, that Zoom call, and there's, you know, and then of course you didn't have to. What I love is you don't have to like get dressed up and cute. You can just, you know, just kind of show up the way you are on those calls. But that process for me was very rewarding, because I've realized in my life and the projects that I produce or cast or work on, I want to do things that are more beneficial, of being of service, or something that makes me feel good. And it could be activism in the show, or that was bringing knowledge and awareness to seniors that are unfortunately not even going to get to walk or graduate. So I was able to pour into that because it was helping people. So I think one thing that I've noticed that more and more down the line that I get into my career is I just really have to feel, because it's such hard work. So I feel like it's better to do things that you feel very, passionate about.
Yeah, yeah. And I noticed just in the casting process, I noticed that you posted casting notices on your social media to help get the word out to people. So it's gone above and beyond now just submitting through agents, right? Like people can actually like you put your email address, and so I'm sure your inbox was like flooded with emails and all that kind of stuff. But this goes back to what you were saying, and giving the advice to us as actors is like, just be on top of your game. Like, have your social media together, have the IMDb together, and make sure. And really, what I'm hearing the most is those self tapes. Those self tapes have to be like on point, because if it gets to a point to where they aren't bringing in if it gets to that where they aren't bringing in co-stars for shows anymore, or any supporting roles, like that means it was already crazy for us, actors, just trying to get in the room, period. But now if they go to like no co-stars or supporting roles, like it's going to be really like top of the line,
But what's really beautiful, though, the silver lining is that when I first started in casting, it was 4 networks, okay? 4 networks, and then you had the big studios. And if you're lucky enough to play as a woman of color, you're lucky enough to play a wife or an ensemble piece, or those were the only doors that were really opening for actors. Now, with multiple streaming, with Facebook, there's so much content now that this is the golden age of the actor, where you have so many more opportunities to actually be on a show or co-star, well, be on a show or be cast in an ensemble. If perhaps you're not even, maybe you're not an A-lister, but they're looking for a fresh cast, fresh faces. Those opportunities are now, those doors have opened up, where before there weren't those opportunities. It's a great time for character actors. They're more real, the more authentic, the better. In commercials, in film, in television, it's wonderful to see a variety of women and men in different shapes and sizes and complexions and races. And before, it was very, very, very limited in the opportunity you had as actors. So now you just have to be ready. You have to be ready. You have to have improv and dramatic training. Make sure that your instrument is up to date. Maybe there's some Zoom improv classes or some Zoom acting classes that you can participate in. Just continue to keep your instrument sharp, so that you get the call from the manager, the agent, to self-tape that you're ready,
Yeah. And I know you talked to us about TV and film casting. Talk to us a little bit about how commercial casting has changed. Is it around the same dynamic, or?
Well, it's been a lot of real people. A lot of right now, it's very limited in that it's, before you could bring in 80 people for 2 roles, and no, that's the thing of the past. It's not safe. We're not going to be able to do it. We're not going to be able to schedule. So when we're doing when I do a SAG project commercial, I'll get like 4,000 submissions for 1 role. I'm not going to be able to, it's literally impossible. I can't bring in that many people. So your headshot needs to be, your headshot needs to be up to date and interesting and intriguing. Your media presence on your LA castings or your breakdown services have to be interesting, because I'm not going to be able to bring in the amount of people I used to be able to bring in. It's going to be cut to 1/3 of that. So how do you stand out? How do you make yourself stand out? And obviously, I just want you guys to also know what the beauty is of what you're doing and who we are is the beautiful thing about it is just to be.
Let's see. I think her phone is catching up again. Let's see. I think she'll come back in. You guys, I love, I'm an actress myself, amongst other things, but like, I'm grateful. And I know that you guys are too. Like, Anissa's dropping a lot of great jewels right now. If you have any questions, I'm sorry if I'm missing any questions. I think there's a question box. Let's see if there's a question box. Yeah, there's a question box. You know, put any of your questions in there, or you can also go to Anissa's page. It's at Casting by Anissa. And if you guys want us to do this again, please put some comments in either underneath my page or Anissa's page. There she goes. She's trying to get back in. She'll get back in. But if you guys have any additional questions, or if there are any questions that we don't address in this live and you guys feel like we should do another live, please let me know. We'd love to. I know I would love to. And then this is so giving of herself. She would do that too. I'm waiting to join. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. Okay, she's coming back in. There we go. It's all good.
I apologize. When someone else goes live, I try to move it out of the way so that, and then I get kicked off. I'm so sorry.
It's all good. It's okay. We have Teddy Riley moments. It's all good.
I love that. That's going to be a way to describe technical difficulties on Instagram.
Yes. Really quick, there was a question, and there's one right now, but like, for people that are new or just trying to get into SAG, what advice can you offer to new actors trying to get into SAG, trying to just get their foot in the door? What is your advice to new actors?
Okay, I'm gonna say this. This is very important. So many people like, I'm an actress, I'm an actress, I'm an actress, I'm an actress, I'm an actor, I'm an actor. I'm like, okay. Then you bring them in and they reading off the page like they ain't ever acted a day in their lives. So you got to have your skills on point. Don't even put that next to your name if you ain't ready. So my advice is you have to train and become very comfortable and flexible, and know that, and never get so complacent that you don't feel like you need to continue training. Find creative ways to do that now. I don't know if theater will even be possible, but whatever you can do to get better, I think being ready is the most important thing, and being confident in your craft. Because if they only have 15 spots to audition, 15 people in that day, everybody, you better believe everybody's going to be making me cry or making me laugh or bringing something. And then I want to have a difficult time deciding, wow, who should this go to?
Yeah.
Not those ones that's like next. Yeah. No, that's not going to work no more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to even touch my top anymore. All these people are going live. But
I know the other thing that says, and I know just because I know you personally and just a few other casting directors, is that for us as actors, it's like, we also just want to be on top of our game and do the work so that we aren't that person that when we go in the room, we aren't prepared for, and casting directors or producers aren't like, I'm not going to let her waste my time again. She can't waste my time again. He can't waste my time again because they came in here unprepared. So like, I'm speaking to myself as well. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's about doing the work. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Doing the work, not being in the lobby, socializing, flirting, getting numbers, like go in there ready to go in that character. And every time now from here on out, moving forward, don't, in 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Don't get complacent with going in the room.
Mic drop. Yep.
And I know we all have a lot going on. I mean, you're so amazing. You have amazing children. You're multitasking. You're running a company. But commit to that self-time of preparing or learning about your character, so that when you do have that opportunity, you feel like backwards, forwards, and front. You feel really confident when you go in the room that you won't be you don't want to be forgettable. Yeah.
And what about to parents who want to get their kids into acting?
Get them going with, you know, if there's some sort of, you know, one thing I don't like is for parents to be ripped off. I feel like, you know, times are hard, and I don't want people to take those fake, really overly priced, empty promise courses. Find, you know, find reputable acting coaches that will really inspire the kids. You know, Debbie Allen Dance School. I know, you know, those kind of things. Like, find those gyms in the city, or performing arts schools that really nurture the arts.
Yeah.
And make it fun for your kids, because sometimes I think it's going to be a thing of the past where you go and there's a lobby of, you know, 80 kids waiting to be seen, because it's just not healthy anymore.
Yeah.
You're not to be able to do that. But have them practice self-taping with them, you know, see if it's something they really love to do, to make sure it's something that they want to do too, that they're passionate about.
Yeah, I was just gonna chime in on that. I mean, for myself, I mean, you know, my kids are into the business, but like literally my kid, like my daughter, who's now almost 19, she literally started working from going on auditions with me. And literally her first job was she came to a callback with me, and they were like, oh, does your daughter act? Whatever. You know, and she just started like that. And once she started working, she started in commercials, she started working, I always shared with her, if it ever gets to a point for you where it's not fun, let me know. Because the moment that it's not fun for kids, it's not going to be fun for them to go. You're going to be forcing them to do it. You're going to feel like you're wasting your time, because they're going to get there. You got to talk with them in the corner. I've seen so many parents who's like in the corner primping and and don't do this.
And the kids are crying. They're like bawling.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, if it's fun for your kid, amazing. You know what I'm saying? And let them go in there and just be who they are. That's the one thing I've learned. Like, and everyone's journey is different, but my daughter has not just never been in any acting school. She's been coached by her manager when she goes on auditions, but like, I've just allowed her to find her way. And she literally she's learned her do's or her don'ts, and you know, her own ism kind of thing. I just let her guide, but I've always told her, the moment that you don't want to do it anymore, don't do it. And Anissa, you know personally that at some point she took that, you know, she took that advice. You know what I'm saying? And as a parent, I'm okay with that, because I don't want to waste my time either, and I don't want to waste her time, you know. And if
I
she
forgot what project it was, but I remember I wanted her for, I think it was a television project.
I think it was something with Lena Waithe.
You know, yeah, that's what it was. It was, yeah, that was something in last year, and she said, I don't want to do this anymore.
Stunner for you, right?
Yeah.
It was.
I'm proud of her. I'm proud of her. I was like, you know what I said? Okay, good for you. I'm proud of you. Good for you for standing in your truth. That's what I said. I'm not, and some people are probably like, oh, come on, one more, you know, that whole, because you could be very persuasive as a casting agent, and I just had to accept it. You know, it's like, I respect your truth. I respect your truth. Beautiful.
Yeah, and this the one thing I can say about Anissa as a casting director. Anissa's very open and she's very honest and she doesn't waste people's time. I know when that was my first time when I was going to your auditions when I first moved out here, and you would be like, yeah, no, I'm just, you know what, guys, I'm not going to waste your time. You came out in the lobby, you would be like, okay, thank you. No, yeah, you know what? And next time, if you come in, like you were just always very honest, which is why I feel like we connected outside of acting, because we just genuinely connected on another level because you've always been real, Anissa, like always, always, and that's very rare. And it's rare for casting directors, not for casting directors, but in this industry to find people that are really, really genuine and real. And you will always give somebody the absolute truth, like always the absolute truth. So it was a no-brainer to ask you to come on and speak to everyone. And I'm sure everyone appreciates all the gems that you are dropping on us today. So talk to us a little bit about where you see yourself in the next 5 years. I know you're producing, you're also a film
passion. I think we like tapped upon. I want to do things that I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
If I feel like in my gut that it doesn't feel right, because your time is very valuable. And before, people would call me and check my availability and, like 10, 15, 20 years, whatever. I'd be like, yeah, I'm available. Yeah, I want to do it. Yeah, okay. And I think I didn't understand that, you can actually have more discernment on the things that you decide to do and what you don't decide, what you do decide to do and don't decide to do, because you're going to be, some films take 10 years to make. And so you really do need to believe in your core in those projects. So from moving forward, I really want to do things that I want to work with people that I like to be around. I want to do projects that I'm very passionate about. I want to tell good stories. I want to produce good stories, and film is immortal. And so, yes, not everybody, some people wake up in the morning, I'm going to be a film director and then I'm going to be a producer, but they're not making, these memorable pieces. They're just making I call it like fast food or,
Microwave. Yeah. Hi, Zora.
Hi, Zora. That's my partner, everyone. Zora.
Yeah.
Can we add one more person on the phone?
Let me see if we can do that.
I don't know if she could request though. She's probably zoomed out. She does.
I think Zora has to request. I'll see if she requests. I'll definitely bring her in. Actually, I was introduced to Zora by Anissa, a project that Anissa was like, you know what? She's saying hello. Zora, can you see if you can request to be in the live? I don't know if we can do that. If we can have more than 2 people on the live.
Okay. Well, she's probably. You guys can do another one.
We'll do another one with Zora.
Zora's my film partner, everybody. So you can follow her on.
Tell us Zora's Instagram.
Yes,
it's Zora DeHorta Casting, right?
Yes, be sure to follow her, Zora DeHorta Casting, and then we have a group one for our film projects. It's AZ Casting Partners.
Oh, she said she's on another call.
She's on another call. No worries.
Okay.
But be sure to follow AZ Casting Partners, everybody, and then Zora DeHorta Casting Partners too.
Okay, so I'll put that. I'll make sure that I'll add those at the end before I post this. I'm going to post this on my page, you guys, so it's going to be a live IG story on the page. You can always go back to it if you missed half of it or some of it. And this, I know that people were like, we need you guys to do this again. We need you guys to do this again. Tell us, did you enjoy this? Do you enjoy?
I did. Thank you so much for, inviting me, and you need your own show, girl, because you know to ask them questions. You are very good, Monique. You are very good. You have a great presence.
I love you, Anissa. You know that. I love you
too.
so much. Like, so much. And we have 28 seconds remaining. Make sure you guys are following Anissa at Casting by Anissa. I am at Monique Cash One and Underdog Productions _. I'm going to put Zora's casting handle on the page, and you guys can watch the video later. Anissa.
So I love you. I want to tell everybody, surround yourself with like-minded, positive people. If anything that this has shown us is that life is so precious, so